Everything that you need to build Robin before she actually comes out. What do you need to prepare for in terms of match? Light cones. What are the best light cones on her? And relics as well. What teams is she good on? And everything like that, guys. Let me tell you, Robin is probably one of the most simple characters to build. I think building her is simpler than telling someone's personality from the type of hat they're wearing, right? You know, straight hat, very straight edge person. Fuckboy, douchebag, copium man on the internet. So let's go ahead and talk about everything that you need to build Robin today, because she is a Robin Twan, as Sanji would say. I'm sorry, I turned into copium man on the internet, as you could tell. So let's go ahead and talk about first, what does Robin even do? As a very simple kit breakdown here. First of all, her skill is going to be giving a damage bonus to the whole team. Not much more outside of that. Obviously, there's more we can't talk about with this, but she gives a damage bonus to the whole team. It lasts for 3 turns. Is basically like Ruan Mei's skill. Now let's go ahead and talk about what the talent does, because the talent is going to allow her to get energy back every time your allies do an attack. And by God, you are going to need this energy, because oh, they didn't tell you the energy cost in the live stream, but let me tell you, boy, her and Argenti are competing, brother. Maybe Argenti's still beating her out in the higher end, but they're competing, brother, okay? So she needs all of the energy she can get. Also, on top of this, they didn't mention in the live stream, but they did show it in the live stream. If you look, everyone has a crit damage bonus, so the talent will be giving a crit damage buff as well. Now let's hop into the ultimate, the biggest thing in her kit, quite literally the biggest thing in the game, really, because of the energy cost. She is going to be advancing forward action all of your allies, gamers, and I'm talking takes them from here to here, which means you're going to need to speed tune her properly, or run her with one of the builds I'm going to recommend today, because I'm recommending two, a very sweaty build versus a very casual build. So stick around if you want to see that. So guys, that's just a basic breakdown of what her kit's going to be doing. Obviously, on top of that, they're going to be getting another type of bonus to something in their kit that deals with a base stat that I don't think they mentioned, but just know that it gives that, and you should get the hint when we talk about the builds a little bit later in the video. So with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and show on screen now everything that you're going to need to build her, every material that you need, going from all the trace materials. You're actually going to be needing this new level essential material here, which you can only get when the update comes out, so make sure you're farming that when the update comes out, but everything else is completely farmable right now in game. So guys, with that out of the way, we can go ahead and hop into light cones now, because light cones are a very essential part of her kit. And when I said she was simple, I mean she is simple, because the light cones are simple. What do you run as her light cone, right? What's her best in slot? Her signature light cone, obviously, right? But what other options, if you don't want to pull for that signature light cone, do you have? And honestly, you have the most free play option there is. The new light cone that we're getting absolutely free from the event. I can't tell you what it does. It just works really well. That's all I can really say in this video today. But yes, make sure if you're not getting the signature light cone, then the second best in slot to me is going to be the free to play light cone here. Obviously, other things you can run. You can maybe run a meshing cogs, because meshing cogs, if she gets hit, she gets extra energy back. If you build her tanky enough and put her in the correct position of the team, then maybe if you're facing AoE oriented enemies, she gets extra energy back, which means she supercharges her ultimate move. That's also another very viable option you could run on her. And one thing I want to mention here, do not run Dance Dance Dance. Dance 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 will quite literally do nothing. You are already advancing forward action, everyone immediately, meaning their action value is already going to be what it is. Like, Dance 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 will literally do nothing here. Save it for someone else. You don't need Dance 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 here. But like I said, meshing cogs could be another decent option depending on how many times she actually gets hit. So that would be really pog there if she gets hit a lot, right? But now with the light cones out of the way, and before we hop into the relics, guys, the only sponsor of this video is you guys subscribing to the channel. Please, God, you see the background. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm down bad. I really need it. I'm begging. I will literally get on my hands and knees and suck your... Let me not go there, okay? I can't get copyright struck on YouTube. This is not the hub, okay? Anyways, guys, subscribe to the channel if you like copium, cringe, and sussy content. So, yeah, back to the video. Now, guys, hopping into the relics, talking about Miss Robin Twan's best relic sets. Now, I'm going to be giving you 2 builds today, and you decide which one you want to do. We'll be talking about a very, I guess, sweaty build, a more sweaty gamer, 0 cycle, 1 cycle build, versus, like, a very casual build that I feel like most players are more likely to run anyway. So, let's go ahead and get the sweaty build out of the way. First, sweaty build. You want to run 2-piece dot, 2-piece attack. This gives her the most attack possible. Don't run any speed, because if you're running a 0 cycle run or a 1 cycle run, you are not going to get that ultimate back up in time again that she'll be able to even activate it. So don't even worry about that. So you'll be running basically just full attack on the planar sets. On the planar orb, you probably do want to run something with ERR. So probably Penacony. The reason I don't recommend Von Quack here is because she might have something in her kit that allows her to go go first on the team or advance forward her action somehow. So we can't go into that, but just know she has something like that. We'll have to do speed tuning to figure out what that speed actually is for that. So you might need some speed built in, but overall, I wouldn't really recommend Von Whack here. I would more so recommend something like Pinacone or even Ageless here to give an attack bonus, which applies to her and the rest of the team. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the stats you need for the super sweaty build, because it's actually really easy to build a super sweaty build. Like I said, her in general is really easy to build, but this makes it even easier for her to be built. So as far as those stats, on the boots, you want attack, HP, or defense. Probably attack percent, right? You don't want any speed. You want her to be as slow as possible, so you have as much uptime on her skill as possible. On the chest, you're going to be wanting to run attack percentage or HP percentage whenever one of you privy more. On the orb, you're going to be wanting to run attack percent, HP percent, or defense percent whenever one you privy more. And finally, for the rope, you're going to be wanting to run energy regen rate. Now, like I said, guys, all these stats I have here on screen, these are interchangeable. Attack percent is going to be the most sweaty build that you can possibly build, but if you don't have enough HP to survive, then obviously swap one of these out to survive with her, because she might be hit or something like that. I don't know, guys. Like, this is a very attack heavy build right here. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the substats that you need for this build. That's going to be attack percent, defense percent, HP percent, and make her as tanky as possible, give her as much attack as possible. That's quite literally all that you need here, because when you use her ult, things might be set at a certain amount, and I'm not sure if they can go up past that amount. If you catch my drift and what I'm saying. Correct me in the comment section down below if I'm wrong, though. I'll pin your comment, because I don't think that's how it works. I don't think she gets additional. I think it just sets it and just leaves it there. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and talk about now the super casual build, right? Now, the super casual build is also very similar to the super sweaty build, because we're going to be running basically the same thing as far as planar sets go and relic sets go. So what you want to be running here is probably a two-piece dot set, two-piece musketeer set that gives you 24% in attack percentage. She needs attack percentage. Maybe she scales in it. I don't know. But attack percentage here is going to be really nice. As far as planar sets go, Pinacone, like I mentioned before, gives you a damage bonus if you're running a physical character. Boot Hill, Luca, Argenti. Anyways, so yeah, those are some options that you can run there for that. Now, you can alternatively swap one of these pieces out, or one of the two pieces out, for a two-piece speed set, because this will bring the amount of minimum speed you need down to only getting one speed on one of your pieces in your kit, okay? Now, that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the main and substats, then we'll talk about required stats and stuff like that a little bit later in the video. So, first of all, boots. Speed boots, brother. Make her fast. You need at least 134 speed, okay? So it'll be really easy to obtain if you're running two-piece speed, and also the speed boots as well. You need one speed in the substats like I mentioned before. On the body, attack percentage. On the rope, ERR, and finally on the orb, we're going to be running attack percentage, HP, or defense. That can apply to the body piece as well. It really depends on how much HP you're currently running and have on her. So you want her to be as tanky as possible. If she gets hit, she doesn't die. You don't want her to die. Isn't that right? You also want her to be taking as many hits as possible so she can get more energy back because of that godforsaken ultimate cost she has. Now let's talk about those substats you need. Pretty self-explanatory. Attack percentage, some speed, 1 or 7 depending on what sets you run. If you're not running 2-piece speed, you need 7 speed. If you're running 2-piece speed, you need 1 speed. Now HP and defense is everything else you need here. You want her to be as tanky as possible. Probably put her in the middle of the team so you can try to get as many hits on her as possible. You want as much energy regen on her as possible so she's able to get her ultimate back up that much quicker. And also she does get energy from other portions of her kit as well. So that's also another plus side here for that. Now guys, I'll throw up on screen now some stats you probably want to be aiming for. This is going to be specifically for the non-sweaty gamers, the casual gamers. This is what you want to be aiming for as far as HP goes, speed goes, attack goes, and basically just that's the main 3 things you want to focus on there. Anyways, guys, with that out of the way, that's the main portion. You're probably going to click off the video now, but don't click off the video because I'm going to be telling you guys what teams she can be ran on, what teams she's best for. Starting off with team number 1, follow-up teams. Why is she good for follow-up teams? As you know, in her ultimate, she does an attack for every attack that you do. Follow-up attack characters, what do? They give you extra attacks, meaning the more you follow up, the more damage you can do with your Robin because she's reprocking the ability from her ult more often because you're following up more often. Follow-up teams really essential. Honestly, follow-up characters, follow-up team players, people that play follow-up teams, this is like literally the perfect patch for you because you can get Topaz, Dr. Ratio, if he's still free, Adventurine, and now Robin on the team. You are going to be Golden. I spelled golden there, okay? That's going to be great. Other teams she can run on, dual DPS teams. Why can she be ran on dual DPS teams? Because she's very SP efficient. She uses 1 skill point every 3 turns, though you can opt in to use more skill points because you want her ultimate back up, and maybe something in her kit gives her extra energy for using skill, which incentivizes you to use the skill more often. So those are like the main teams she can run on. She can realistically be ran on any team because of the big damage bonus she gives. She's better than Sparkle and Bronya, surely. And yeah, that's really all I have to say today. Did you guys enjoy today's video? Did you like it? Did you hit that subscribe button? Because if you didn't, I'll find you. And I'll turn this green screen off. I'll turn this green screen to your background. Whatever room room you're in right now, look around you. Next time, this is going to be your background. Bye. Subscribe.